Okay, what's up guys? This video is going to be the absolute craziest breakdown I have ever done. This is the craziest video I have ever posted on this channel. Okay, many people told me that I'm literally insane for sharing this completely for free, but you know what I do, so this is what I'm going to do today in this video. Okay, because in this video I'm going to exactly explain that if you're an online fitness coach, how to become absolutely free. Okay, like if you're watching my videos, your goal is probably not getting an extra few thousand every month, right? Your goal is to become completely free, is to become a free person, to quit the matrix, so to speak, right? I hate to say that, quit the matrix, but this is quite literally what you can do if you have a very efficient online company. What I mean by online company is how to have a completely automated cash printing machine that is going to help you get $10,000 days while traveling all over the world, just like I am doing, right? And I was doing that with my online fitness coaching company as well. I literally traveled all over the world, and funny enough, whenever I travel, I just make more money, right? My location, my time, my efforts are basically not something that depends, that my income depends on, right? And it shouldn't be for you either. So I am going to go through every single step in terms of what you need to do to get a completely automated system that is making you 30, 40, 50,000 US dollars as an online fitness coach, completely automated from step one. If you're starting from zero, inside 3 to 4 months, because you can build this up inside 3 to 4 months, right? For some people, it's going to take 4 months. For some people, it's going to take 6 months. At the end of the day, if you are going to execute on everything that I'm going to tell you here, and I'm going to give you exact cheat sheets and exact step-by-step guides as well in order for you to be able to execute on this yourself, then you are going to get there. Okay, 100%. All right, this is how I can crack $10,000 days in the middle of me moving to Rome. Quite literally, 4 days after I cracked $10,000 a day, completely automated, didn't even touch this whole thing, right? Basically, exactly after that, I moved to Rome. I am in my new apartment in Rome right now. My girlfriends live here. So, sorry, my girlfriend lives here, and my brother's girlfriend lives here as well. They are twins as well, just like us. So, you know, I visited Rome. They recently moved here as well. I like the place. So, a few days after I just moved here. Okay. I even did a post about this, right? What's an average Tuesday for me, which means moving countries, making 10K, and then, you know, moving into the flat. For you, it's your wildest dreams when it shouldn't be, okay? Because if you execute on everything that I tell you, by the end of executing on this process, you're going to be absolutely free. You won't need to do any outreach. You won't need to worry about lead flow. You won't need to worry about marketing. And you won't need to worry about selling hardcore on sales calls. Money is just going to flow in, and all you're going to do is stand on the freaking airport and check the check the payment notifications on your phone from Stripe, PayPal, whichever method you're using. Okay, so let's start in the very, very beginning. Okay, so I quite literally traveled all over the world making this amount of cash, and this is the exact system that I have been using. So let's get into the first step. All right, if you're an online fitness coach, this is the base of the house. Okay, if you're building your house on the wrong base, no matter how high of a skyscraper you're building, and I always say that, right? The house will crumble, the building will crumble. So this is why it's extremely important that the first step, which means your offer and your targeting, is absolutely dialed in. This is how you can start this cash printing machine. Because if you're not offering something that is valuable enough and also that is attractive enough for people to always be interested in it, right? Then obviously, no matter what the hell you're doing after that, people are just simply not going to buy. Now, you're extremely lucky because you're in online fitness coaching if you're watching this. Online fitness coaching, quite frankly, is one of the most profitable industries to be in. But that's also because a lot of people bleed out because they have no freaking idea what the hell to do, right? They have no idea how to create a very valuable offer, right? Because it's one thing that it's very profitable, but it's also another thing that's extremely saturated. Everybody is an online fitness coach nowadays. It's quite literally the most saturated coaching sphere inside the online coaching industry, right? So the health and fitness industry in online coaching is its own industry by now. So what you need to do is you need to create your own little micro niche. You need to create your own little targeting and offer in terms of you creating a blue ocean in this big body of water. Okay, because quite frankly, people don't get this down right. Okay, so let me explain step by step. All right, let's start with the targeting because you need to formulate your method and your offer based on your targeting. Okay, so first of all, people have, what most online fitness coaches do is they have busy professionals. Whether if you're a female, whether if you're a male, you're having male specifically, female specifically, right? What most and 99% of fitness coaches do is they just start having busy professionals. Now, this used to work 5 years ago, but it definitely doesn't work anymore. Okay, like you need to create a way more profitable and lucrative little micro niche, right, throughout this process for this to work. Okay, our clients all have micro niches. All right, so obviously Steven, for example, used to be a marathon runner, and also a financial worker. So who he targets is quite literally people who work in finance through his macro metabolism turbo optimizer marathoner method, right? I'm going to explain a little bit more about his method. Maximin also works in finance. He has a few of the craziest exams and also qualifications in finance, right? He made a huge success in that. He's a German guy, so we targeted him in the German market, right, which is way more lucrative than the international market. If you can, if you're living in a first world country and you speak that language, right, you should definitely target that. Okay, so we are going to target him in a numbers-based approach, all right? And Ryan is basically an over 40 bodybuilder with 2 pro cards, and what he wanted to do as marketing is just talk about, chicken breast and rice, stuff like this, right? Now, obviously, we targeted him with a way better method, right? So Maximin's method is anti-fat cell hedging protocol, right? It's a crazy good method. It's one of the best methods on the market. And Ryan's method is a metabolic blueprint for over 40s. Okay, so you can already see how these people are way better niched in. Obviously, we have loads of other clients who we niched in crazy well. Okay, and I'm going to talk about how exactly we niche in our clients. All right, so the first step is quite literally creating a good method, an efficient method for an efficient target audience. Exactly how we do that for our clients, and exactly how I did it in my own company. Right, so how I did it in my company is I used my professional fighting background. I targeted only busy software engineer dads with serious health issues and helping them get rid of that. Okay, so the targeting. First of all, it needs to have deep pain. Okay, just weight loss is not deep enough pain anymore. Okay, what are people achieving through weight loss? Right, I keep talking about this on this channel, and yet so few people understand. Right, but once you do understand, you can create an absolute crushing offer that you won't need to basically sell, because people will jump on calls with their credit cards ready, and you're going to print cash, and you will be able to travel to Rome, to Cyprus, 5-star hotels, right, or wherever the hell you want. You can travel to Iceland, to the cold, if that's what you want to do, right? I don't like the cold, so I don't like to travel to those places, but you can do if you want to do, right? You need to create a flow of income, right? So the deep pain, you need to target the pain that your prospects are going to get through weight loss. So if your unique selling proposition is I help busy professionals lose weight, you're not really offering an end result anymore. Just losing weight is not an end result. Anyone can help people lose weight or gain muscle, right? So it's not an end result anymore. What does your target audience get through losing weight? Do they get rid of thyroid problems, or at least improve on that? Do they get rid of debilitating back pain? Do they get rid of type 2 diabetes? Right? Are they going to be able to be there for their children long term? Right? So you need to make sure that you are focusing on one specific, very deep pain for a target audience that has one very specific buying power, right? They would need to be able to pay high prices, which means if someone is not making over 50K a year, then you should definitely not even consider them, right? This is why you should go for software engineers, lawyers, business owners, engineers overall, right? People who work in finance. You should go for these people because these are the people who have buying power, right? Once you identify an extremely deep pain of the target audience that you want to target and they have buying power, you need to understand their unique obstacles, because every target audience has unique obstacles. Okay, I said this example 100 times, right? But people always want to go for a specialist. If you go to the general practitioner with a heart issue, right, obviously it's good, right? If it's not too expensive, okay, they are going to write you a prescription because you already have that problem. It's a deep problem. But if next to it stands the heart specialist, no matter how freaking expensive the heart specialist is, you're always going to pay it. And why this is the first step and why this is extremely important to target the right people is because if you're not selling for high enough prices, you're never going to scale your company up. You will always need to chase sales calls. You will always need to chase payments, right? But if someone is willing to pay you $3,000 upfront without questions asked, and you can close at least 3 to 4 people every single month for that amount of cash, which is not a high amount, right? Like it's basically no work with the clients because you only need to focus on 3 to 4 clients. You can deliver way better end results to them. That's when things start to happen. This is why we need to be at the base of that. Now, once you have the target audience, we know that basically how you need to imagine is that the online fitness coaching industry is a desert, right? If you find the right target audience, you found an oasis where you can start growing your crops or start growing your stuff, right? Because there is water there. Now we have the oasis, right? We have the base to grow your crops. Now we need to find what kind of crops we want to grow that is going to sell better than anything else. Okay, we literally need to find the best possible offer for these people, basing it on your target audience. Okay, first of all, one method, one solution. Okay, extremely important, right? It needs to solve the one main pain of these people, right? My method was quite literally an implementation method, a done for you method, similarly to what I'm doing right here in my current company, right? I basically targeted these software engineer dads, and I quite literally told them that I'm going to help them lose 30 to 40 pounds and get rid of their health issues while eating almost anything they want without needing to touch the kitchen, right? So I order the meals in for them, and they don't even need to set foot in a gym one time. They just need to train 3 times 20 minutes at home with my specialized professional fighter style bodyweight workouts. That also is fitting to their fitness level, right? So basically, with one single method, I solved every single one of their inefficiencies, right? You should know your target audience once you have the right target audience better than they know themselves. Obviously, if you join our program, right, we are going to know your target audience because we've been doing this for so long. Like I became an online fitness coach when I was 20. I'm 24 now, right? I scaled to multiple 6 figures every single year. I hit my first 6-figure year at 22 years old, only from one platform and only with one offer, right? With one product. Right? So generally speaking, obviously, if you join our program, we are going to do market research for you and we are going to formulate your niche in a way that is guaranteed to be profitable. Another thing that like 99% of fitness coaches get wrong, right? And let me give you a little bit of a caveat here, okay? The right solution is the fastest, easiest, and the most different, the most revolutionary, okay? All 3 of those things need to be there, right? If you read my clients' solutions, like you probably have it in your Instagram page, let's say, that I have people lose weight without cutting out their favorite foods. While my clients are having the macrometabolism turbo optimizer, the anti-fat cell hedging protocol, the metabolic blueprint for over 40s. This is their method, right? And obviously, just the name of the method is not the most important thing, but it also should sound right. We're going to give that to you, right? So this we exactly wrote for our clients. The number one thing is what exactly that method entails, because all of these methods, if the right target audience sees these methods for my clients, is the easiest, fastest, most efficient, most revolutionary method that anyone could have. Okay, so if you look into that, right, if you look right at there, most 99% of fitness coaches are too passionate about fitness. This is your problem. If you're watching this video, your problem is quite literally that you are just too passionate about fitness. Now, my luck was that when I started becoming an online fitness coach, I couldn't give 2 shits about fitness, right? I was an athlete. I never had problems with this. I never had to lose weight. I was always skinny, right? Like I didn't have any passion whatsoever for fitness. So what I had to do, and the only thing I could do, right, which was a disadvantage in the beginning, but a huge advantage turns out later, is understand my target audience so deeply that basically I understand them better than they do themselves. Because I never understood what it's like to have struggles with health and fitness. So I had to understand my target audience so deeply that I knew them better than they know themselves. This is why 99% of fitness coaches are in love with their product, right? Like, for example, if I can talk about my client Ryan here, right? We literally had a lot of talk about, he didn't like the copy at first because he said, quote unquote, that it's not him, right? Which is a big problem, right? Because, and I understand where he's coming from, okay? He's a professional bodybuilder. He loves, he used to be like, he has 2 pro cards. He loves to work hard. He respects hard work, right? He used a lot of methods like carb cycling, right? He also likes intermittent fasting, okay? These mainstream methods. These can work extremely well for many, many people. But we had to break it down that his target audience doesn't want to carb cycle. They don't want to use intermittent fasting. It's a lot of work. And if you are also an online fitness coach, probably you are too much in love with your methods and with your knowledge, and you basically want to sell for yourself instead of your target audience. Like you probably involve your ego into your solution instead of talking how you can help people lose weight through eating only fast food without touching the kitchen, right? What people want, right? Because these people, your general target audience, is going to see your content sitting on the toilet, scrolling their phone, wanting an easy fat loss pill. That's 90% of your target audience, right? But because you don't understand, because you always love fitness, you will want to explain all the little details. You will want to give this quote unquote real information, right? Which is not even real, because you want to develop methods and you want to develop your product that your target audience doesn't actually want. Okay, so first get to know your TA, then formulate the easiest, fastest, and most different method that solves every single one of their inefficiencies. This is why it needs to be a unique solution. Now, once you have that, you have people who can pay you. You have a product that people are interested in, so they're automatically going to book calls, right? You have a method that is going to pre-sell your prospects because it's going to be the absolute best in the industry. Like whatever the hell they are looking at, right? Whatever else they are looking at, if they see the macro metabolism turbo optimizer and they work in finance, right? And they don't want to work out a lot, like they are going to choose that, right? Over the guy who tells them to train in a gym 2 hours, 3 times a week, and hypertrophy is great, and but you know what, you don't need to do cardio a lot, right? Like nobody cares. Okay, people want the easiest, fastest, most reliable solution. Okay, and then obviously you're going to have a high closing percentage, right? You basically have a cycle of income automatically. Okay, so this is why the base is extremely important, right? Now obviously if you join our program, not only we are going to design your actual approach and your actual method, you're also going to design your content. So we are going to give a name to your method, right? So if you can look at Steven, his method, we designed it in a way that quite literally he's marketing himself that he used to be a marathon runner, right? It's also extremely important that you build your method based on your own hyper expert persona. We fit it to every single client because that's is going to be credible, right? And quite literally, we use quote unquote reverse dieting, right? High carb dieting, because marathon runners need a lot of energy, right? So we are using high carb dieting for people who love to eat carbs, right? Because the general population loves to eat carbs. So instead of cutting out carbs, this is a high carb diet, right? Without cooking. And the only workout that they need to do is interval walking based on marathoners' methods, right? The diet is based on marathoners' methods, and the workouts are based on marathoners' methods, right? Like all they need to do is walk a little bit in an interval way for 30 minutes a couple of times a week, right? Like literally walk. They can do it at home, they can do it out on the street, right? So if someone comes across this method, Steven's method, right, and they come across your method of eating chicken breast and rice and salad and training 3 hours every week in a gym, right? Which one do you think they are going to choose, right? If they would be able to do that, if they would be able to eat chicken breast and rice, and also they would be able to train 3 times in a week in a gym, they would have already done that. Okay, so obviously our clients are going to win. Now obviously we write every single content piece for our clients. Okay, so that this is an implementation program what we do, so you can do this for yourself, but if you join our program, we are going to give you your niche, we are going to design that, we are going to give a method name, and then we are going to design the marketing exactly how it should look, right? So if you can look at Maximin's content right here, right, it's crazy. Okay, it's absolutely crazy. This is how my busy desk worker clients burn 20 pounds of belly fat without working out or restricting their eating, right? Meanwhile, what you're doing is explaining the details of hypertrophy, let's say, right? So if you can see, it's an extremely efficient method. We focused for Maximin on a numbers-based approach because he's going to sell for Germans, right? In a very logical numbers-based approach with the least amount of energy output and the most amount of results and profit generated, right? Finance terms, right? This is why we call it metabolic hedging, fat burn hedging. And basically, it's a crazy good method. It's selling like crazy. Obviously, we wrote that, right? We wrote that, then we talked through with him. He reviewed it. He was happy with the script. So it's all going out. Now, the second step, once you have a really good method, is extremely important because you need to distribute that in content. So in our program, once you wrote the content, we are also going to distribute it. Generally speaking, you need to have a mindset shift in content. Okay, instead of trying to get followers, likes, right, is the dumbest way of generating attention on your offer, right? Because what is content? What people use content for? They want to generate attention on the offer that they have, right? But that completely backfires, right? Your content is not for getting likes, it's not for getting more eyeballs. Your content is quite literally to convert the eyeballs that you already have. Controlling the attention is going to be the third step, which is lead generation, right? How to control the attention. But there are way more efficient, controllable ways to get the right qualified attention on your profile and on whatever that it is that you have to offer, other than just posting and trying to go viral on Instagram, okay? Because I tried that, okay? I had videos with millions of views. I didn't make a single dollar from those videos. What I made money from are these content pieces, right? You need to share your absolute best value completely for free and sell the implementation. Information is free, it's all out there, okay? You need to basically share the best information for free and sell the implementation, right? There are certain foods that will skyrocket your testosterone and therefore boost your metabolism, 10x your metabolic rate. One method, one solution, right? Helping remote workers lose 30 pounds and 10x their energy levels, right? That's the real end result, okay? And obviously, a training video, how Rodrigo lost 30 pounds in 90 days. This was one of my USPs, like for a time on my Instagram, right? So it needs to be high perceived value. It needs to be one method, one solution in the content. That's the only thing that you need to hammer on, right? You don't need to market multiple solutions. You should have one magic solution, okay? If you think about the keto diet or carnivore diet for Liver King, keto diet for many people, right? It's a horrible freaking diet. But it was one method, one solution. It was logical. That's the only thing that these people were talking about. People were buying it, right? Nobody wants multiple solutions. People want the one magic pill. So this is what you need to pursue in your content, okay? And third, showing evidence. So if I can talk about my current company, right? If you check these client results out, right? Basically, all I am doing, we have an entire company page, right? You can check that out for client results. Basically, all I am doing, also what this video is showing evidence, right? Showing evidence about knowing that what you talk about, right? You're showing that you know what you're talking about, right? And then also showing client results and evidence. If you have one client avatar, the right target audience, and you consistently get results to that one client avatar, and you show that in your content, once you also have one method, one solution with a high perceived value, people will have curiosity based on the method, and they will have trust because of the evidence, right? And then some people will start booking calls also organically. Organic marketing is not how you imagine it is, okay? You don't need to go viral. Organic marketing is for you to convert people. Getting eyeballs on these things is the third step, okay? Now, generally speaking, instead of trying to post, instead of trying to send outreaches yourself, right? Like all of these business coaches are teaching this, okay? Like you can start sending outreaches yourself in the beginning, right? If once everything else is set up, right? All of these things that I talked about is set up and you start sending outreach, right? And you leverage content and evidence in the right way, and you're sending outreach yourself, like, yeah, you can easily make $10,000 every month. But if you want to get to 50K a month, right, which many of our clients are doing, and also I got to that point, then you definitely need to automate this and delegate this process, okay? You need to make sure that it's automated, consistent, and high scale, okay? You can't run away from volume. Okay, you can't shy away from volume. Like generally speaking, quality of attention is the most important thing, right? That people who check your content is quality people. This is another reason why organic marketing doesn't work, because you can't control who is viewing that content, right? If you're controlling the attention in terms of outreach and in terms of paid advertisement, then you are the only people who are seeing your content are very specifically the people who you want to sell to, right? But also, if you're not delegating this, it's not going to be consistent enough, right? If you're ever tracking your own lead generation, right, that you do on yourself, basically it's not even high enough numbers. What you can send 60 messages a day, right? A proper setter can send 500 to 1,000 outreaches, okay? A feed growth specialist, right? Paid advertisement, 1,000 to 2,000 daily views, okay? So it's not big volume enough and also not consistent enough, okay? So let me quickly show you in terms of the setter, all right? So obviously we have a very, very specific system in terms of our program and what kind of sector to go for, okay? So the first step, as I already mentioned, right, creating the offer, then creating the content, okay, and then delegating the attention, right? Can you follow me how this is already an automated system, right? This time will become free, because if you're someone who is working away like a slave in their business, right, generally speaking, you're not going to make a lot of cash. The less you have to work inside your business, the more money you are going to make. I work like 4 hours a day on some days, right? Generally speaking, I love my clients, okay? So if anything, I work a lot on client fulfillment. If you're very passionate about your program and you want to deliver a good end result, you can do that. You can even hire a client success manager, right? With our clients, we work with one-on-one, but that's up to you, right? But generally speaking, in terms of generating leads and generating income by being completely free, you need to delegate it, okay? So first, how we are delegating the outreach. Having a VA is absolutely a horrible idea. I worked with VAs. Okay, if you pay like $5, an hour for them, it's horrible. By the way, I did a complete separate video of this. If you want this chart in terms of how to hire the best fit growth specialists, the best fitness specialized sectors in the market, I can send it over to you, right? So quite literally, VAs are not a good idea. Okay, they don't have high skill level, right? They are from Pakistan, the Philippines, right? You can hire them on Fiverr or Upwork. You should definitely not do that. Okay, you should definitely not hire VAs. They don't know how to convert people on calls. They can't even really finish basic tasks like sending the first message. So if you ever tried on getting VAs, it's not going to be good. Between 0 to 5K, it can be okay, but I still wouldn't really recommend that. Okay, now the appointment setter, this is where most fitness coaches bleed out. If you've ever got to the point where you try to hire an appointment setter, or you work with an agency that tells you that you don't even need to worry about the lead gen because we are going to do the lead gen for you, right? Instead of actually putting a proper setter into your company, right? Because trust me, I work with those guys as well, right? They're all scammers because it's never going to work because they are going to just install a generic setter into your company, right? If you work with a generic setter, the problem is that fitness offers have completely different problems as a B2B offer, for example. If an appointment setter have never worked for fitness coaches and is not skilled and trained on the language of the prospects of fitness coaches, then they are just not going to be able to book calls, right? They're going to save some time on outreaches, but at the end of the day, they are not going to book calls for you. So again, you're not going to be free, right? You need to manage your employee all the time, right? Quite literally, why I'm doing this video, my appointment setter that is an absolute killer for my current company is booking calls, right? I'm getting notifications, right, of booking calls, like quite literally, okay? He's talking to me in the Discord. I could show you right here, right? He's quite literally just sending, okay, new call book, right? That's what you want for your online fitness coaching offer. Okay, so appointment setters, again, not a good idea because they are not specialized in fitness. Now, the number one thing who you need to hire is a fit growth specialist. Okay, so fit growth specialists have amazing product sense. They know their way around fitness offers. They know TA language. The DM skills are through the roof. These are people who are absolutely like they are killers. Okay, my number one mantra is slow to hire, quick to fire. Okay, once you hire the right setter who specializes in fitness offers, who has experience, who is willing to work 14 hours for you, right? My current employee, my current setter is only commission based and he works way more than me, right? Like I quite literally wake up at 7 a.m. If I like to wake up early. By 9 I start work. He is already working for an hour by that time and he finishes work at midnight. He's working all day, right? Every single day. He's pushing my company even harder than I do, right? I need to keep up with him, not the other way around. These are the people that we want. Now, obviously, inside our program, you can try to hire these people on your own, but inside our program, we are going to obviously install the right fit growth specialists inside your company, right? They are trained by us. We go through the entire hiring process, right? So the hiring process that we go through with the fit growth specialists, first of all, we send them a personality test because 99% of personalities are going to be protagonists. Never hire protagonists, okay? We are going to send them a personality test. We give them a job description. How you need to design the job description is that quite literally, you need to want to chase people away from your offer. Sorry, from your job, okay? Because if people are looking for an easy job, you don't want them. Okay, quite literally what you need to write into the job description, and that's how we do it, is that there are no fixed hours, there are only KPIs. It's only task focused, the work, right? If you're not done with your tasks for a couple of days, we get you fired, right? You need to write it in big letters that this is only about results. If you're not booking calls, we are getting you fired, right? So you need to try to chase people away from your job because that's how people are going to that's how most people are going to go away, but the ones who stay, they are going to be quality. So protagonists out, people want an easy job out, and then you also need to train them well. But if you don't know how to train them well, I can send you this exact sheet to check out the exact set of training that we use, okay? Or you can also book a call with us and then we are going to install a fit growth specialist inside your company, basically done for you, okay? So once you hire the fit growth specialist, that fit growth specialist is basically going to be able to send 500 to 1,000 outreaches every single day, like how our sectors are doing and our client sectors are doing, right? Basically, a single fit growth specialist is worth 10 normal sectors, right? I literally have one fit growth specialist at the time, and I'm booking 3 to 5 calls every day, and I'm generating loads and loads of income because also they are extremely qualified. That's what you want. After you have the base, getting attention through a sector is extremely easy, and this is how you're also going to make more and become free, so you can travel around, right? Because your dream is probably having a freedom business, right? Now, the second is once you start cracking income, with this process, right, the first few clients, you can immediately start an ad, right? Because you have the right target audience, like what 99% of fitness coaches don't, right? And you have everything that you need, you can easily start an ad, so it automizes the process for you. Okay, so quite literally, we have a very specific ad formula, right? This is the best ad formula, right? This is very specific to our company. Okay, this is the feed scaling ad formula. Quite literally, it is market breaking, right? So all of our clients are crushing it. I was getting 6K weekends without even touching anything, right? Because my feed growth specialist basically converted to calls, the leads from the ad, right? The ad was getting loads and loads of attention, but most importantly, it got the right qualified audience. Okay, so most people, how they want to script their ads, right, is they just explain quickly their offer, and then you go to a landing page, and they immediately try to say something. It's never going to work. Okay, big business gurus do this. It's never going to work. All right. So the right ad is a follower formula. Okay, all you want to do is build up the right portfolio on your Instagram or on your social media, and the ad should only basically explain the absolute best parts of your program, right? Hype up people, and just the call to action should be that they follow you, right? So this is my exact Instagram ad script. I can also send that over to you. Just send me a message on Instagram, follow me on Instagram, right? And quite literally, we are going to set up your ads step by step, right? Quite literally inside the program. You can do this by yourself. It's a really, really easy process. I can send over the sheet if you want to know how to do that, right? And then obviously, conversion is the next step, right? Which I already explained. The feed growth specialist should be able to convert it, leveraging your content assets and your content in the DM conversation, following up, right? And booking more calls, booking follow-up meetings. So now we have the attention completely automated. You don't even need to touch it, right? You have the right portfolio, the right attention, right? And you're going to start booking calls like crazy. So the next step is obviously the selling part, right? Once you have loads of calls, how are you going to sell? And once you learn this, you can also hire a closer who is doing the selling for you. So quite literally, you're working like 1 hour a day to check in with your team, and you can just rock on, right? Now, obviously, depending on where you are, if you love sales, you can continue doing that. I absolutely love sales, right? So I love to do my own sales calls, but I definitely don't have to, okay? So once you have pre-selling content assets set up, okay, as I already explained in your content, sharing your best information, that's one part of selling because you need to pre-sell people. The feed growth specialist should actually send these content assets to your prospects, okay, inside the DM conversation. So once they watch it, they already pre-sold, so they jump on the meeting with their credit cards ready, okay? So if you're not selling in the marketing, you're doing things horribly wrong, okay? This is why we need to set up the right content strategy that I already talked about, okay? Now then, obviously you need to have the perfect pitch, okay, for your selling. All right. So most fitness coaches just go up on a call without a pitch, right? Like even big business gurus, like it's crazy. Like they don't even actually have a proper pitch, right? They are literally just living off of their brand sometimes, right? So obviously there is a certain process of how to do an exact pitch in terms of that it always qualifies, right? You need to do a proper discovery phase. Then you need to, the first part is the small talk. You need to do a proper discovery phase with the pain goals and the obstacles, right? It's extremely important because that's how you can sell people later, right? There needs to be a hero story in your sales pitch, okay? And then obviously you need to give away your solution. Inside this document, there is my exact sales pitch that I was closing with $3,000 per every single client. I can send this over to you as well. Send me a message on Instagram, okay? I can send this whole document to you if you want all of the documents inside here, right? Then you can check them out. And obviously, once you pitch people, you need to know objection handling, okay? Generally speaking, if your content is good enough, you shouldn't objection handle. But if you checked out my sales masterclass on my YouTube, where I have in-depth objection handle breakdowns of raw sales calls that I did for my exact fitness coaching offer, then you obviously know that a little bit of objection handling skills is going to amp up your closing rate over 80%, right? So this is an exact way, like this is exactly how to this day I'm handling objections, right? There is two different types of objections: uncertainty and financial based objections. I'm actually preparing a video on this, right, very, very soon. I'm going to break down this exact chart. But the main thing is, if you ever struggle with objection handling, this is exactly how to do that. Okay, I can send this sheet over to you as well. So this is how you become free, because once you're able to close people, then basically you're rich and you can travel around. This is how I built my online fitness coaching company. This is the exact system that we implement for our clients. We write their sales pitches, right? So if you ever want to check things out, right, make sure that you check out my sales masterclass on my YouTube. Okay, feel free. Like, there are loads of in-depth breakdowns of sales calls, so you can see also for credibility that I actually close people for 3K, because you might not even believe that I was able to do that. So this is the simplest way, like quite literally from step one to step to the last step. This is how you become free while also extremely rich. This is the life that probably you will want for yourself. Otherwise, why you want to build an online business, right? If you would like to run a restaurant and live in the same city all your life, do that. But if you want to build a proper online business and you want to become free, these are the steps that you need to take, right? So having the right base in terms of your offer that's going to convert, right? Then building up the right portfolio of content that provides loads of value and converts people in the right content assets. Then delegating the attention on that profile and on those content assets, right? Through a setter, through an ad, and then actually closing those people, right? It's that simple. This is the step-by-step process. Now, if you want this entire sheet, checking out every single thing in there, right? Our client's content and all those things, and the entire pitch, right? How you set up ads, how you can set up themselves, right? If you want this entire sheet that I just talked about and you want to try this on your own, then definitely shoot me a message on Instagram. We have a conversation about that, right? Follow me on Instagram, shoot me a message. You can check out our other client results as well. But if you want to cut this, right, want to cut the time on this, right, you want to do it fast, like by summer you want to be free, and you're an online fitness coach, then just book a call with us, okay? Because we are going to do this all for you, okay? Watch this. This is the value. You can do it yourself if you want. But if you want to cut the time off of this, book a call with us. You can have a conversation about your company, and we will see if you can jump into a program, right? And once you did, we are going to scale you up. Okay, that's how you can get $10,000 days on the regular like me. So thank you very much. See you in the next video.